Hey, this is Blake Williams with Battle Tested, and it's story time. Growing up in Talladega, Alabama, my brother Sammy and I used to love to climb trees. And we had a great tree in our front yard. It was right next to the driveway, and it had three different sections. From its base, it kind of divided into three different sections. Two of those sections were really tall, and that's where we spent our time because we like to climb high up in trees. But one day we decided, we should really try to climb this one section of the tree that we've never climbed before because it looked boring. But it just kind of went up, and maybe at about 15 feet, it curved over the driveway and just kind of went straight out. And as any good big brother would do, Sammy said, "Okay, you go first." And I had yet to meet a tree that I was afraid to climb, so I agreed, and I went first. And going out across this limb, because it didn't have smaller branches that you could pull yourself with, you had to really bear hug this limb and inchworm your way across this limb. And I got so far so that I came to a smaller branch that came straight from the top of the limb straight up. And it was big enough where I couldn't break it to get past it. So I had to try to grab the limb on the opposite side of this branch and kind of inch my way, keeping this limb at my side, this branch, trying to get around it. And as I do this, and I'm about around this branch, I feel my legs slipping off the branch. And I somehow propelled myself past the branch, but now I am just bear hugged, frozen, like a cat in a tree, stuck in this tree. There's no way I'm backing up. There's no way I'm coming down. I just yelled to Sammy, "Sammy, I'm stuck. Get help." And he tries to coach me a little bit to come back around this branch. He realizes I'm not. So he goes inside the house and he gets Martha, our great aunt who raised us. And she comes to the driveway. She looks up at me in the tree, and she's now trying to coach me how to back up and get out of this situation in the tree. And she sees it's not happening. Here is my nephew, I'm sure she's thinking, and what do I do to get this boy out of the tree? Well, guess what? I'll call the fire department. And she did. And when a fire department or fire truck pulls up to your house in small town Alabama, you can bet that all the neighbors are going to come out to see what's going on. And that's exactly what happened. All my neighbor friends come out to see what is going on. There's this ruckus going on in this tree, and these people looking up in this tree. What is in that tree? And they realize it's Blake, a crying, maybe 9 years old at the time, boy up in this tree. And the fire department, easily enough, props a ladder up against this tree limb, and a guy climbs it and somehow forcibly pries me off this limb. As soon as I hit the ground safely, I ran into the house. I was obviously embarrassed. I lost tons of cool points that day with my neighbor friends. Was humiliated. And I really share the story, I guess, because there are limbs that you and I need to venture out onto. We don't know what maybe is going to happen when we get there. We're not sure of the future, of our future when we get out onto that limb, but there are some risks maybe that we need to take, to better ourselves, to better our families, to better our teams, whatever that might look like for you. There are some risks probably that you need to take that aren't inherently dangerous, except maybe there's that fear of the unknown. You're unsure, are you going to be able to accomplish whatever that limb is going to entail, that risk is going to entail. I failed that day. I failed tree climbing 101, right? To accurately climb a tree or to successfully climb a tree, you're supposed to climb it and climb back down yourself. I didn't do that. I needed help of a fire department. But we need to take risks sometimes. We need to have the courage to step out, to venture out onto those limbs when we don't know what the end result is going to be. But I also had someone there to help me, right? I had, in this case, a fireman came to my rescue. Sometimes we may need rescue. We may need the help of someone who's more prepared for what's out on the other side of that limb than we are. So I hope this week you'll find the courage to think about, hey, what are those limbs that maybe I need to venture out onto? Have the courage to do it, but also maybe have that safety net as well of a person that's going to step into the risk with you, or to be there to catch you when you fall. I hope you have a great week.